Logan Paul's $66 billion empire is collapsing. They tried to reinvent Prime, but the numbers tell a different story. Sales have fallen over 70%. Was Prime ever more than marketing? And what if this is how the creator economy ends? In 2022, Prime became one of the most talked about drinks in the world. Bottles were reselling for $100 each on eBay, and teenagers were lining up outside stores just to find one. 2 years later, those same bottles were sitting untouched on clearance shelves for half their original price. The rise and fall of Prime wasn't just about hydration. It was about hype, influence, and how quickly momentum can disappear. At its height, Prime wasn't simply a sports drink. It was a cultural phenomenon created by Logan Paul and KSI, two of YouTube's biggest stars. Together, they didn't just launch a product, they built a movement. Prime was positioned as the drink of a generation that grew up on content instead of commercials. Parents drove across towns to find it, and videos of sold-out aisles pulled in millions of views. For a while, it looked like they had discovered the formula to build the Gatorade of the creator economy. The drink's success was carefully engineered for the social media era. Prime Hydration launched in January 2022, packaged in fluorescent bottles that stood out on camera. A year later, Prime Energy followed, each can packed with 200 milligrams of caffeine, roughly the same as 2 Red Bulls. The packaging, however, looked more like a Saturday morning cartoon than an energy drink, and while the caffeine warning was printed on the label, it was small enough to go unnoticed by most customers. Soon, backlash began to spread. Schools in Australia and the United Kingdom started banning the drink, and parents raised concerns over safety. Prime stated that the energy drink was intended for adults, but everything about its branding, from its colors to its online campaigns, appealed to younger audiences. The gap between its image and its intended market was becoming difficult to ignore. Then came the lawsuits. In August 2023, a class action in California alleged that Prime Hydration's grape flavor contained PFAS, the so-called forever chemicals. Prime denied the claim, saying its products contained no PFAS.
All right, let's talk about this. We have a very big, multi-million-dollar filter that filters the water from the state. Water you drink at home, water provided by the state before we make it into Prime. We don't think these numbers are factual, and we're not the only one who caught this.
The level that was reportedly found was below the limit of detection, and if that even was the level, it is still 66 times lower than the recently established federal maximum contaminant level of 4 parts per trillion for PFOA.
A few months later, another case alleged that the caffeine levels listed on the can were inaccurate, with lab results reportedly showing up to 225 milligrams instead of 200. That case was later dismissed by a federal judge. Around the same time, a New York complaint cited Logan Paul's own zero-toxin hydration tweet as misleading, while the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee filed a lawsuit over Prime's use of Olympic imagery. That case was settled quietly in early 2025. Behind the headlines, tensions were also rising with suppliers. Refresco, one of the world's largest bottling companies, filed a lawsuit in Delaware seeking $67 million, alleging that Prime had failed to meet its purchase commitments on a major production line. A separate lawsuit in Massachusetts claimed Prime owed money for unpaid coconut water concentrate invoices. For a company that had expanded with lightning speed, these disputes revealed the cost of scaling faster than demand could sustain. The numbers began to tell the story even more clearly. In the United Kingdom, official filings showed revenue falling from £112 million in 2023 to just $33 million a year later, a 70% drop. Pre-tax profits were down 78%, and net profit fell more than 90%. In the United States, research firm Numerator reported that Prime's sales declined roughly 40% year over year in the first half of 2024. As sales slowed, retailers started offering deep discounts. 15-pack bundles were being sold for as little as $13.99, a far cry from the frenzy of its early months. At the same time, competitors like Celsius and Monster were quietly reclaiming market share among the same Gen Z consumers that Prime had once captivated. And in September 2025, the UK government launched a consultation to ban the sale of high-caffeine energy drinks to anyone under 16. Effectively putting Prime's core audience out of reach. Across the Atlantic, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer urged the FDA to investigate, warning that these cans look like Gatorade but hit like a double espresso. Facing scrutiny, Logan Paul and KSI tried to reinvent the brand. In early 2025, they introduced Prime Ice, a lighter, less sweet version of the drink available in blue chill, red chill, and orange. The goal was to reposition Prime as a more balanced beverage for everyday consumers. But early reviews were mixed, and sales data suggested the update had little effect on the company's overall decline. The drink that once represented the peak of the creator economy now stands as a reminder of its limits. You can sell excitement once, you can't sell it forever. If you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe to Scale Decoded for more stories behind the world's biggest business shifts.